Hello everyone, I'm Bobby Dyer, Teacher Technology Integrator for Brevard Public Schools. Thank you for coming to my course on Tech Tools for Student Engagement. I did this course last week for our Teacher Leadership Conference, and the recording got a little iffy. If you were there live, you might have noticed that the Zoom call got a little laggy. I think Google Earth might have crashed my computer a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and re-record this today using OBS, and I'll probably use Audacity for the sound a little bit. But basically, we're going to do a new recording, and I'm going to try to showcase all these tools in close to an hour. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and enjoy yourself. All right, working through the presentation here, I did include this quote called, motivation is the art of getting people to do what you want them to do because they want to do it. And that was Dwight Eisenhower said that. I totally agree with this quote, and the majority reason that I agree with this quote is because of my classroom. I know that it was always a task to get my students involved in the curriculum and excited about it. So one of the ways that I often got their excitement levels up was by giving them a choice. And more often than not, the choice of technology would really get them engaged and really get them excited about our curriculum. So I would say whenever you have the opportunity, use a choice board, whether it's pencil and paper or a digital version, and give some kind of digital tools as an option for students to complete products. Here you can see a little bit about myself. Again, I'm Bobby Dyer, Teacher Technology Integrator for Brevard Public Schools. I have my phone number listed. I will go ahead and include the slideshow in the links below, so you can catch me on my email, my Twitter link, or my LinkedIn as well. Over on the side here, you see a little collage I made in Adobe Spark. That's one of the tools I'm going to be showing you today, so get ready for that. But you can see I'm a family man. Here's myself and my wife, Lauren, our 3-month-old baby, James Henry. I am an avid musician. I've been playing and teaching guitar for over 15 years, I guess. I am what I consider a home chef and a pit master of some sort. So you can see a recent brisket that I cooked. Lauren and I love going to Disney. Haven't really done it since COVID started, so we'd love to get back into that once the real world kind of comes back into place. And then finally, we're French Bulldog lovers, and this is my little Beauregard. So that's a little bit about me. Feel free to comment anything about yourself if we share any of these likes. All right, next up, I included this technology integration matrix. This is from a school in Florida. They've created this, and I just wanted to showcase it because it gives us a rubric, it gives us a task, a goal, a standard to set ourselves to whenever we are creating a lesson revolving around technology. One quote that I found in here, if you're looking in the active learning section of this rubric, they say, they often use tools in unconventional ways, and technology itself becomes an invisible part of the learning. That's really what I want my technology to be, something that's kind of invisible. It's not known to the students that I'm giving them a lifelong skill. It's just something that they're having fun with. They're working through the curriculum in this technological tool, and they're enjoying it. So I never want technology to hinder my classroom, and I don't want it to be something difficult. I want them to learn that technology along with the curriculum, and I thought this was a great quote to kind of showcase that. So our first tool that we're going to be working on is Adobe Spark. This is a great media creation tool. You can create all sorts of mixed media. I've used it for my current position as a technology integrator for creating promotional flyers and brochures. I created the collage you saw earlier. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with it. You as a teacher can use it for an open house. You have a parent night. You're advertising something special in your classroom. Create a quick online web resource for it and share it out with your students and your parents. Students can, of course, use this as a product for many different means. Instead of doing the old trifold pamphlets and making a giant display board, they can go back to Adobe Spark and create something there that's digital. It can go be saved into their Google Drive, and they can have it forever, which is really cool. So once you get into the slideshow, all of the links at the top are clickable and will take you to those tools. So I'm going to go ahead and check out Adobe Spark here. And I logged in a little while ago. You can do that with Google, with Microsoft, or you can make an account. One thing to note, Adobe Spark does have a paywall on it. The free version, everything that I do and everything I show you can be made in the free version. The paid version gets you premium templates, basically the templates that Adobe makes themselves or they found from somebody that they consider higher ranking. They think that you might want to copy that, so they think you'll pay for it. If you have any creative bones in your body, you can make everything that I do from the ground up, or you can take one of the more basic templates and kind of tweak it a little bit so it works for your classroom. So here you can see I'm on the landing page right here, and I'm going to click on View All Projects because I just want you to get a little glimpse of some things that you can do with this program. So I'm going to go back to, this is the very first thing I created. So think about yourself, bare bones, your first time in the program. This is what I came up with on my first time. So I found a template that was kind of similar to this. I think the background might have been the same, and they had all of these fonts were kind of pre-programmed in, but I included like the shape here, and I changed the colors. I did some things where I kind of made the opacity on the words here. So it's a very simple tool. This probably took me 10 to 15 minutes on my first try. Let's go ahead and check out another one. This is a fun one that I did, and this includes some of the icons that are found within Adobe Spark as well. So this one is freshly squeezed training, and you can see I have all these little oranges that I put in that are icons. You have the orange background, kind of have this honeycomb shape at the top for the words, have our classic hashtag here, and you can see some more icons for social media that you can include as well. So it's a very simple tool. Again, that takes less than 20 minutes, especially if you've done this a few times. I get in here and make something that I need a day of, and I can do it in 5 to 10 minutes. Let's look at something a little bit more recent maybe. Okay, so here's a great one. This is one that I've utilized a couple different ways. So I created this banner for our Facebook page. It says Brevard EdTech, and then it has tech and teach kind of in the same lingo here. I did a little cool thing with getting rid of the A, but leaving a little hint of it. And this is the banner for all of our social media. If you go to our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, you'll see this. And then our actual like cover image is just going to be this word teach. So I kind of duplicated this, and I made a secondary copy where I just cut out that word teach. And that's what you're going to see as our profile image, which is really, really cool. All right, so let's get in here and let me just showcase a little bit of this so you have an idea of how you do this. So I'm going to go ahead and click the plus right here, and let's just start with a flyer. Now the cool thing is, whatever you start creating, you can resize that to a different media after you've created. It's really cool. So I'm going to start with here's a template right here. Again, this is bare bones. I can go in and I can click text, photos, and I can add my own photos as background, my own text. But let's take one of these templates that's already here. So here's one that says midnight hike. Create from this template. I like the look of it already. It's pretty simple, not too much to it. So midnight hike. Let's go ahead and change that text to, let's call it tech evening. All right, so we'll just have this. This is going to be kind of a meeting for my from my team, I guess. So let's go ahead and say what time that evening starts. Meet us on Zoom at 7. Sounds good to me. Now I want a little bit more text in here. I want some more kind of features that go along with our district. So I'm going to add text, and I'm going to choose hashtag Brevard EdTech. Always have to include your hashtag on whatever you create. And I'm just going to click on that. I can drag it to the top. So that's kind of the first thing that people will see, besides this kind of big bold circle in the center. So Brevard EdTech looks really good. Let's go ahead and change the actual font here. Tons of great fonts in this program. Local Brewery 4, I like that one. That's a cool one. I would say if you have a hashtag or something like that, always try to keep it the same across any flyers you make, just for some nice recognition, I would say. And we can also play with the colors a little bit. So they actually give us the current palette, whatever's in this image and whatever's in any of your other text. They'll give you kind of some hints to help you keep aligned with those. So that's a cool color that kind of blends in. They'll also give us some suggested for kind of outside of that palette. So cool stuff. I'm going to kind of keep it with that cream theme there. Looks really good to me. Now let's change the backgrounds a little bit. So you can see they have 2 different images here. So I'm going to click on the top one. I'm going to click replace. I can upload a photo from my computer. We'll see how to do that. Standard, pulls up your file folders. Or we can find some free photos here on Spark. So I'm going to just click tech. And let's just find some kind of cool techie picture maybe. Perfect. Here's a computer, here's a smartphone, tablet, looks good. And let's go ahead and replace this secondary picture. Again, we'll stick with tech. And let's find something else that's techie and looks nice. Something a little bit different than that computer scene maybe. Find something with some contrast. Okay. I think I see some headphones here. Oh, my mistake. I accidentally included just a picture. So let's click on this again. Let's click replace because we're doing the background. One more time. Let's click tech. And let's just scroll through real quick and try to find something nice and engaging. All right, let's try that one again. There we go. So now I have my headphones in the background right there. And you can see it automatically applied this filter that was already on here, but I can turn that filter off. So now it's just kind of a black and white photo, and I can change this filter. Now, since these started as black and white photos, it's not going to be too exciting what I can do, but here you can see I'll change the colors with a matte. I can lighten it up. I can do a contrast, but I'm just going to leave it as this colorized, which I think is really nice and neat. So here I have Brevard EdTech. We have our tech evening coming up, and we're meeting on Zoom at 7 p.m. Another cool little thing we can do, let's wrap this up here. Let's add in an icon. And so this is Tech Night. Let's include a computer. Let's find just something nice and simplistic. I like this one. So when I click on it, it brings that computer onto the screen. I can drag it around anywhere that I want to. Let's resize it, make it a little bit smaller. Let's put it right below our tech evening. Let's change the color. It's a nice standout right there. That one blends in a little bit more. And then matching with our cream theme. Okay, let's stick with the cream one. So now we have a nice little icon on our screen too to kind of tell us that we're working on technology. So it's a really simple program. I can include tons of these icons, as much text as I want to. I could have 4 or 5 different pictures melding in to be the background. I can include more images on top of this background, and you can bring things across different layers. So this tech evening could go behind the icon that I've created here. So a lot of cool tools in a very simple program. Everything's very intuitive, and it would work great for you or your students. I have no doubt that our students in Brevard can do this and across the country. So great tool, absolutely love it. Next up, let's check out Flipgrid. So again, if you're in this slideshow, all of these actual titles at the top of the screen are going to be links. But for me, Flipgrid is kind of the social media right now for the classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I am logging in with my Google account. Again, we don't have to make passwords or usernames for any of these programs I'm using today. All of them are super simple to use. Sign up with Google, sign up with Microsoft, and your class is there. Most of them can be attached to your Google Classroom as well, which is really, really cool. So you can see I have a discussion going right here. So I have discussions in period 1 and period 2. So I can make as many groups as I'd like. So let's go ahead and make a third group, and let's call this Fun Time. And so if I wanted anybody to join Fun Time, I could just give them this code. And now here's the permissions, how people can join. So I can have it student email. So if I want anyone in our Brevard domain to join, I'll put at brevardschools.org. So if anybody has a brevardschools.org email, they will be allowed to join this if they get this code right here. I can also just attach my Google Classroom, and that automatically rosters the kids in. If I click Google Classroom, the next screen will allow me to choose from my 5 or 6 Google Classrooms that I have set up. Kids are automatically rostered, which is really cool. All right, you can do some different things with notifications and how you receive them. You can include an image for whenever your students see this classroom. Let's find something just simple. Textures, nice colorful thing, perfect. So I'm going to set this up. My group is ready, and I can send this out to my Google Classroom. I can make an embed code for a website, put it on Teams. Everything that you pretty much use daily, they have a little code option for you right here. So now I am in the discussion of this classroom called Fun Time. So what I'm going to do now that I'm in Fun Time is I'm going to pose a question. I want kids to talk about something. So this is the same as back in the day, taking out a piece of chalk and putting a question on the chalkboard. Today we have whiteboards. Get out your dry erase, put it on the whiteboard. You might have exit tickets that you have your students do, or entry tickets in the morning. This is a great time to utilize Flipgrid. So kids are coming in the morning, they need to drop off their bags, and they need to get to work on something quickly. Have a Flipgrid up for them every day. A simple question. It can be a question of the day. It can be something related to your content. It's a great tool just to get all your kids working on the same thing. So it starts off, it automatically creates a hello, I am topic for you to talk about. So I'm actually going to go ahead and delete that one because I want to make my own. And let's create our topic. So let's make the title of this, how about Social Studies Unit 1. Now I have to have my prompt. This is the actual question. Again, the thing I'm writing on the board that I want to know from my students. So the question about Social Studies Unit 1 is, which Native American tribe lived in the desert? All right, so I have my cool little idea here. Oh, teacher problem number one. I spelled desert wrong. And I'm going to just leave that in the video so you guys can all laugh at me and enjoy. So, which Native American tribe lived in the desert? Okay, now me as an inventive student, I'm going to go out to the internet. I'm going to try Native American tribes that lived, oh, spelling is terrible today, lived in the desert. All right, so I see a couple right here, Mojave. All right, so we have a couple right here. And then we're good to go. I have my information now as a student. I could look this up in my textbook in Social Studies Unit 1. We're all good to go. So I can do some cool things with this actual question. Recording time, I can make it up to 10 minutes for my students, or if you want just quick, snappy answers, you can make their responses have to be 15 seconds or shorter, which is really, really cool. So I'll leave mine in 1:30. And then comments, you can allow students to comment on each other's work and post videos replying to other students' work as well, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and create this topic. And you can see I have all these links again. I can automatically send it out to Google Classroom if I'm linked there. And since this is about Native Americans for this topic, I could add some kind of image to go along with Native Americans, but I'm just going to leave that alone for now. And let's start the discussion. So as a teacher, I want to go ahead and I want to talk about this to get the students started and to get their kind of brain working a little bit. So let me go ahead and turn off my camera and my recording program. 1 second here. All right, and then let me retry my camera in Flipgrid. Good, and so the only weird thing happening here is I'm using 2 programs for my camera right now, so that's why Flipgrid didn't want to work right away. So if you are just using Flipgrid alone, you're never going to have an issue like I just did. All right, now the cool thing is, of course, going to be the effects. Your students are going to get in this program, and they're going to see all these emojis and cool things that they can do. So first off, let's go ahead and give ourselves a nice little filter. Manifest, ooh, golden Mr. Dyer. Vintage, I kind of like that look. Memory, breeze. Okay, so lots of different looks that you can do right here. I'm going to go with this nice vintage look. Let's go out of the filters and we can include some text. Before I do that, I'm actually going to do a different tool, which is the whiteboard. So you can see I can include a dot grid, a graph. So this could be utilized in math, and you can have kids showing off parabolas and things like that. If you are very tedious, you could try your hand at a Danielian using the mouse on your computer with the notebook. I have a galaxy background, a whiteboard, a blackboard, a chalkboard, and then they have a couple more colorful options here at the end, just throwing a little bit more excitement. So let's go ahead and go with the galaxy theme, and let's do a little bit of text work on here. So you can include text from typing, which of course is going to be a nice swift way to get an answer out. So as the teacher, I'm going to say, did you read chapter 3? And let's go ahead and put a space there so we can see all that. Did you read chapter 3? Oh, my chapter 3, where did it go? Let's make it chapter 1. How about that? I think that was our topic anyways, unit 1. Okay, so now I have this kind of title right here. So let's go ahead and close that little window, and that'll allow me to move this text around a little bit. I'm actually going to shrink it some. And I'm going to put it on my whiteboard side over here. So did you read chapter 1? Oh, and there's my missing 3. Wow, Mr. Dyer's having quite a day of it today. All right, and let's go back to our effects here. You can also include the ink, so if you want to use your pencil, or if you have a stylus, or even just your mouse, you can write on the screen. So I'm using a mouse right here, so it's obviously going to be not very easy. Hi, and smiley face. And let's go back to our effects. Get rid of our text. Get rid of this one. And stickers. So this is probably where your kids will be spending most of the time. So you can see I got a couple of stickers right here already, but there's tons of pre-made ones from Flipgrid. You have your standard emojis that you would see on your keyboard on a cell phone. They have some people included, accessories. They have music icons, so even you music teachers, you can have students showcasing what's the proper timing or something. We have reactions for equations and things like that. They even have ASL signs, which is really cool, and I'm glad that they thought of something like that in here. So for our emojis, let's put a little sunny face right here. Got our shades on, sun's bright. Let's just put him right in the center. And of course we have to always wear a hat. So let's just type in hat. You can see I already had a cowboy hat on earlier. Got some crazy hair here. Let's do Mr. Dyer is going to be a pirate. All right, pirate Mr. Dyer. Let's go ahead and make that hat a little bit bigger since I got a big noggin. Looks pretty good. All right, and that kind of concludes our list of little tools right here, or effects. You can include a picture in here, so if you have something on your computer that you want to upload, and then you can kind of put a frame around your whole video as well. So let's put some nice little shinies here, and we're looking pretty solid. This is going to be a great video. So now again, I'm the teacher, so I want to be talking about this Social Studies Unit 1. So I'm going to go ahead and click record. Hello students, I'm so excited for you all to learn about the Native Americans in this chapter of the book. You're going to learn about some amazing people that did some great things, and I just can't wait for you to learn and explore with me. Have fun responding to this topic and have a great day of learning. I'll hit pause, and then I'm good to go. So I just recorded my video. Now, afterwards, you can still add more effects and things like that. You can undo that video, but I'm going to go ahead and click next and watch. Hello, students. I'm so excited for you all to learn about the Native Americans in this chapter of the book. You're going to learn about some amazing people that did some great things, and I just can't wait for you to learn and explore with me. Have fun responding to this topic and have a great day of learning. Okay, so that actually sounds and looks pretty good to me. I'm sorry, let's go ahead and pause because it keeps going. So you can add more to that video, or on this screen you can trim and edit it a little bit so it's a little bit cleaner. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that up. Now my display name, I'm going to leave that as Robert D, but they can change that. You can include links to outside sources. So say a student found something on Wikipedia, they're using the actual textbook website, they can link that. And then they can add a description for their video, so anybody that's going to click on their video would know it's coming up before they see it. I'm going to go ahead and take a selfie just so that video image that they see is a little bit better. So let's do a piece, and let me make sure I'm looking at the camera. All right, so I have my little selfie. I'm going to click confirm. And so this is what students are going to see when they come to my classroom. They're going to see Mr. Dyer's picture here, and they're going to click on this to learn about the content. I'm going to submit it. Took literally a second to get that up on the screen, and the program works super quick. Even your videos that are 10 minutes or so, it's not going to take very long at all to upload those. So now you can see that I have a response for myself. All my students will watch this. I can pin this so it always stays at the top of the screen if I want to, and that's a great tool because when my students do something amazing and I want to showcase their learning so far, I can always pin that student that has the correct answer to the top of the screen and ask everyone else to watch that student. Here's where Flipgrid gets amazing. This 0 hours of engagement. I've been in English classes when I was a literacy coach, and I saw over 20 hours engagement on one topic like this. And how that happens is students are watching not only your video, but they're going in and watching their peers' video talking about all those exciting things. So easily, if you have 20 students and they're all spending an hour watching their peers and watching you, that time is going to rack up. And we know that time is reinforcing content, which is great. Okay. Another thing, if you have littles, or you have somebody that's working with some kind of issues with reading, they have the Immersive Reader tagged in here. So I'm going to click on that, and you will see. Clicking play.
Which Native American tribe lived in the desert?
Perfect. So even with my little guys, my K, my 1, my 2, if I can take a couple days and train them to find this button and then just show them how those buttons work on clicking play and clicking submit, they could come in here and do this program as well, which is really cool. Okay, now I'm done with my camera on Flipgrid, so I'm going to go ahead and activate myself again. And so now you should be able to see me back on the bottom of the screen. But really, that's it for Flipgrid. Again, it's all about engagement. It's all about fun, but we're tying it to their content, and that's what I love about this. So let's close out of here, and let's move on. Next one is going to be Wakelet, and this is kind of goes with Adobe Spark. It's a great multimedia project creator. You can do all sorts of stuff with this one. So up at the top, I'll go ahead and type in Wakelet. And we can go ahead and log in. Like I said before, you can use an Apple, a Google, a Microsoft, or you can create your own account. I'm going to sign in with Google as per usual. And we're loading. here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go show you a quick little Wakelet that I've created. And now here's what Wakelet is. It's basically a multimedia presentation. So if you have something that you want to showcase to your students, or you want your students to showcase to you, this is an amazing tool. You can include Twitter posts, PDFs, photos, text that you've written yourself, links to website, anything that you can imagine from the internet can be linked on a Wakelet, and it puts it all in this nice little package so students don't have to click on multiple links in Google Classroom. It's all in one place. And that's a time saver. That's what I'm always about in the classroom. Are my students engaged, and can I get them working through problems quickly? Because I never want to lose a minute in the classroom. So I made this one called Barbecue and Chill. And so everything in here is about barbecuing or chilling out a little bit. So you can see it even has the Immersive Reader built in. Go ahead and click on it, and we will click play.
This Wakelet will give you some sweet tunes and mouth-watering barbecue tips.
Okay, so now you know the description of this Wakelet. So anything that I type on this Wakelet page, it will be able to be read using the Immersive Reader, which is really cool for your students. Now, I included this video, so this is all about chilling. I included this music video. Now, this music video in Wakelet is awesome because it's going to keep me in Wakelet. Got some nice chill lo-fi beats here. Click through a little bit. Cool. So you can see when I clicked on that, it kept me in Wakelet. And actually there's no ads, which is also very cool. Talking about time saving, we just cut out 5 seconds of that ad that we'd have to watch at the beginning, sometimes 10 to 20. So again, I'm staying in one website. I don't have ads. And another great thing about the YouTube link here, I actually wrote this title. Normally when you see a YouTube link on a web page, you see the title that the creator made, and then you see the description that they made. This is all information from me that I wrote, so it's specified for my students. Next up, I went ahead and I included some tips from Mr. Dyer himself. So this is an example of using text within the program. So I wrote out some tips about cooking low, cooking slow, and again, the Immersive Reader would allow me to read through this as a student. Really cool. Instagram, you can link that to the web page here, and you can see I have my image of my brisket that I cooked, and I can have that description and all my likes here so people can see that this was a very well utilized Instagram post. Next up, I have a website, so I can go to the Kreiderman's Barbecue, found in Cocoa or Melbourne if you're local. And it takes me directly to that website. So again, cool barbecue website. Next up, we have another YouTube video with a smoked turkey recipe. Now I have the creator of that recipe, Malcolm Reed. I went ahead and linked to his Twitter profile. So you can see just kind of going back and looking through all these items I have here. I have a Twitter post. I have a YouTube video. I have a website link, an Instagram post, text that I as the teacher created, and an image that I included from just my own personal background. So all of these things are put into one tight little package. They include the Immersive Reader. They take out things like ads, and they keep us all in one place. So this is an amazing tool for you to showcase things to your students, but don't forget, they can sign on here and they can create these packages for you. They can make some awesome content. And again, it's all technology based, all super engaging, and it's new and it's exciting for them. So love Wakelet, absolutely great tool. All right, let's go ahead and close out a Wakelet for now. And moving on with our presentation, we will go to Minecraft. All right, so this link that I included right here for Minecraft, it's not going to take you directly to the game. It's going to take you to the Minecraft Education Edition website, which is really cool. What you can see on the top here is they have these class resources. So one thing that you can do is you can search for a lesson. You can find worlds that have already been created. So I'm going to go ahead and find a lesson. And it kind of breaks it down for you. You have language arts, science, math, history, and culture. So let's click on math real quick. And you can see some cool things already happen. We have Common Core standards for 3, 4, 5. And here's a couple examples right here. So we have math alignment. We have subtraction world, which looks pretty fun. Coordinate systems, decimal and fraction garden. So all of these things are created within Minecraft. A lot of them are created by the Minecraft team or special teams that they've created just to work with the Education Edition. So they're all super safe and super fun for kids. Looking at the science, just so you guys can get a little glimpse of it. Sustainable food production, radical recycling, build with bees, all about bees here. Try these first, eukaryotic cells. So some really, really cool lessons that are already created. So now now, as a teacher, let me go ahead and back out here, and I'm going to open up Minecraft Education Edition on my computer. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm in. And if you're on a standard computer in the district, even a Chromebook, it'll automatically log you in if you're signed into that computer using your Microsoft account. So I'm going to go ahead and click play. And what I'm going to do today, I'm not going to show you how to play Minecraft because that's a lesson in and of itself. Really, it doesn't take long and it's not that hard. Do not be scared if you haven't done it before, but I would love to help you out. Reach out to me, anybody on my team, we would love to help you with this. So let's click View My Worlds. And I went ahead and I queued up 2 worlds earlier that I thought would be a lot of fun. On my account on my personal computer, I have a couple cool worlds. Like one is actually a fake classroom, Mr. Dyer's classroom, and it has all the desks lined up. It has my chalkboards up so students can see what subjects we're working on that day. So you can build anything that you want, but I thought these really showcase the program. So let's start kind of as the... Okay, this one's pretty cool. This is fun. So this is actually going to be basically a diorama of the human eye. And you can see again, it takes a minute to load because we're working with a real game, a real program here. Luckily, they give you some nice tips and things to read while you're waiting. And here we are. We're in the Minecraft world. So this person that created this left on mobs, which are non-player controlled units. So you have some sheep and some chickens and things like that all around the world. But lo and behold, if I look up to the sky, I see what looks like a human eye. Now, a cool thing in Minecraft, you can actually double hit the space bar to fly. So I'm going to fly up to this eyeball, but you can see they created a stairwell so I could walk in. I actually want to start up on the front though. Let's fly back up here. Sorry, everybody, don't get motion sickness. Okay, and so right here at the beginning, we have light that enters the eye is inverted by the lens. Let's scroll down a little bit. Check the inside of the eye to see what happens to it. So somebody created this little kind of light ray coming into the eye, and up here we have some more information that's really, really good. So cornea, the layer of glass represents the cornea. It focuses the light coming into the eye. It is filled with liquid to maintain its shape. And if you look down, you actually do see that liquid down here, and you can see the cornea and everything around it. So really, really great presentation. They spent a lot of time working on that. So I'm actually going to come in, and it says enter the eye's vitreous chamber. It is where vision gets made. So let's see how well they did in here. All right, we have some more of these light rays coming in. This line shows the light entering the eye, focused by the cornea, restricted by the iris, passing through the pupil into the lens where it is focused into the room. So, really great content here. You can see all the detail that they put into this eyeball. There's just so much information in this that they can read about, they can learn about. It's a lot of fun. Your kids would absolutely love something like this. Your kids could go out and they could make something like this. And we have tons of cool examples of BPS students making exciting things just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape, and I will save and exit. Next up, we have Audacity. So Audacity is a great program for creating podcasts. I actually work with the government and community relations in the district to create a podcast for them called the BPS Smart Podcast. And they've had various guests, Dr. Mullins, our superintendent, school board members, and various people from around the district. It's really, really cool. As a teacher, I used to use audio recordings and videos like Flipgrid and things like that to kind of front load my information. I could give my students something to listen to with my voice recorded, and then I could be in the back of the room working with my small group or working with a one-on-one student. So really, that day, I'm in 2 places at once, which is really, really cool. Again, we're saving time and we're working with the content. I'm recording something about my lecture, something that I'm reading from the textbook. I'm kind of getting students ready for a Socratic seminar by giving them ideas. All of that's coming from me through this podcast into their ears, and they're engaged with me, even though I'm not right there with them. Let's go ahead and take a look at Audacity. Now, you may need to reach out to your tech at your school to see if they can go ahead and download this for you, or for multiple computers. It is a free program, very small actual kind of foothold on your computer. It doesn't take up very much space. And this is what it looks like. There's not much to it. Basically, to record a podcast, all I need to do is tell it which kind of microphone I'm going to use. And so I'm going to use my Blue Yeti, which is sitting right in front of me. close out some other windows that I have open on my other screen. And then I have my speakers set up as my headphones that are connected right here. So this is basically ready to go. Now all I need to do to record is click the circle, and then whenever I'm done with it, there will be a stop button highlighted for me to go as well. So let's just record some quick audio. Hello students, I'm so excited that you're in my class this year. I can't wait to learn with you. Please download Audacity and record a little bit about yourself so all of the class can hear, as well as myself. I can't wait to learn more with you. Have a great day of learning. All right, so I hit stop, and here, you might have seen something like this before. This is a standard audio file. There's not much to it. If I double click on it, it's gonna highlight everything, and I can kind of cut things out, or I can move things around. So let me show you a little example of that. So I'm just gonna move this cursor around by left clicking, and let's say this whole beginning right here, you can see there's not much sound, it's just kind of background. Record a little bit about yourself. So, oops, sorry, let me go back to the beginning. Hello students, so you can see there's a lot of kind of just dead space in the beginning right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that by left clicking and dragging, just click delete, and now my audio just got that much cleaner. I can see some at the end right here. I don't want all that, but I'm actually gonna do a cool trick with this. I'm gonna highlight this dead space right here. I'm gonna go to effects, and I'm gonna hit noise reduction, and I'm gonna hit noise profile. And what that does is it listens to this audio right here that doesn't have any voice on it, and it's going to try to cut out that extra noise so I don't hear it when I'm talking, which is really cool. So now, as I still have that highlighted, I'll hit noise reduction, and I'll click OK. Take a look at that line. You might even need to rewind to see that, but all of that sound just got cut out, which is really, really cool. It's just a super simple, quiet line. And so I can apply that noise reduction to the whole file, and that will make everything lose that background. You might have some hum from the lights. You might have shuffling feet in the classroom. You can actually apply that noise reduction, and it'll cut out all that extra sound in your room, which is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off that ending here, and let's do one more little effect here. Let's go to Effects. Let's go to Compressor. And if you know anything about audio, compressors are great because they kind of bolster up your sound a little bit. They kind of mix the highs and the lows together so they're working in sync. And you can see that kind of array of sound just got a little bit broader. It brought everything out a little bit. If I play it, hello students, I'm so excited that you're in my class. A little bit more booming sounding. And then let me check one more effect. I'm gonna go ahead and click Normalize. Click OK, and you can see it brought the levels down a little bit just so it's kind of matching just your standard. If you went on YouTube right now and listened to something at the same time, those volume levels would be similar. It's not going to be too loud or too booming. So my audio is all done. Again, let's have a quick listen. Hello students, I'm so excited that you're in my class this year. I can't wait to learn with you. Please download Audacity and record a little bit about yourself so all of the class can hear, as well as myself. I can't wait to learn more with you. Have a great day of learning. Sounds good to me. So now all I have to do to get that out of Audacity is click File, click Export, and export it as an MP3. And I can title it anything I want to. We can just call it Sound, and I will save it to my desktop. Click OK. And there it is. I now have this audio file that I cleaned up and I edited a little bit. Again, you only need those 3 little tools that I showed you, and you'll have a super clean audio file. And I can share that out with all my students, put it on Google Classroom, put it on Teams for them to listen to. My students, of course, can also create these. So put Audacity on their computers, allow them to record their responses. You're working on fluency and reading, have your students read their book while recording in Audacity. If you're working as a foreign language teacher, have your students practice their language using Audacity and podcasting it. Super cool, super fun. I absolutely love it. Go ahead and close out of here. Back to our presentation. Let's go back to the big mode. Next up, Jamboard. Let's go into Jamboard. I will go ahead and click on our link here. And let's do, I have a couple made already. I don't mind these. Let me go ahead and actually make a new one here. So down in the bottom right of the screen, you'll see a little plus button. So I will click the plus, and you can see it's Untitled Jam. So in Google, I always like to make sure I name my stuff right away. So let's call this Fun Time Jam. Now, Jamboard is basically a interactive digital whiteboard. So you can see right now I have a white screen. There's not much to it right here. Okay, so we can make it a little bit more fun, of course. We can add some dots for patterns. We can add blue lines. Again, we can add kind of that grid. We can go in and add a different colored one. We have a blue background, and we have kind of our old chalkboard kind of look. You can also include an image from your computer. You can take an image with your camera. You can search Google for an image and make that your background as well. So let's go ahead and go back to maybe just our blue lines. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of writing. So I click on the writing utensil right here, and I will say, hello. Mr. Dyer is definitely not in the lines. Would you believe it? I taught kindergarten. All right, and now I can take that highlighter kind of tool and I can change it to different shapes, more like a paintbrush here. Looks pretty good. And of course I can change the colors to different things. Looking good. All right, and we have an erase tool. So if I want to get rid of any of that content right here, and if I want to get rid of everything, just click clear frame. Now down here we have sticky notes we can include. Hello class. Let's say, please put away your books. Nice. And let's close out of there. And this is just a little sticky note I can drag around this whiteboard. So kind of pretend that this is your whiteboard, your chalkboard, whatever you have in the front of your classroom. Pretend that that's a digital version of this. So you might have little notes that are on the side of the room, like your Google Classroom invite code or things that kids need to know for the day. We have PE today. You could put that on the board here. Very, very cool. Now let's include an image on this board. Again, I'm all the time on my whiteboard in class. I had to draw something really quick, just quick sketches for my students. So let's go to Google image search and let's search for, how about Florida? Something nice for Florida. Looks good. Insert. So I want students to see what the Florida sign looks like. I'll just include that image right there. Perfect. Okay, we can also include some shapes. So let's put a little square. And let's do a little triangle. And how about let's do an arrow. Really cool. We have our text tool, so I can say, welcome to my class. Perfect. And again, I can move that anywhere I want to. I can move the arrows around, my image, and my note. And then finally, they have a little laser tool right here, so you can point at anything on the screen, and your students will be able to follow those things around for you. Now, that is one slide. I can also create more frames. So I just clicked on the arrow, and I got 2 of 2. So this is the first frame that students are going to see. Now I have a blank one. Cool thing you can do is click share, invite all of your students. Now that might be through Google Classroom or a very simple means like that, sending out an email or something. All your students can have their own slides or their own frames, and they can be working on the same topic. So think about like writing a class novel. Everybody has one page that they can bring a text box up on, and they can all be writing the same class novel. Super cool. I love the idea. Jamboard is a lot of fun. All right, now for our final tool, I'm going to take a look at Google Earth. You might have heard about Google Earth before. You might have used it 10, 15 years ago. I think it's been around that long. But it's changed over time and it's gotten quite a bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and click Launch Earth. And this is all done in your browser. I will say it's a little taxing on the computer. It does use a lot of resources, so be prepared to wait at times. It actually crashed my computer last week during this conference, but hey, we all have issues at times, okay? So it looks like it's running pretty well on my computer right now. I'll go ahead and try this out. So you can see here I am at the Eiffel Tower. Really, really cool. Let me just put in something else to search for. So let's do Magic Kingdom. So what it's going to do is now it's going to take us across the globe. It's going to zoom us out. And now we are in the Magic Kingdom Park in Florida. Really, really cool. So this search feature is super awesome. And you can see that it has this kind of 3D view. I could zoom in and really see the texture and kind of the height of some of these buildings, which is, it's a lot better than taking a look at a map or something 2D that we might have used in the past. So really, really love this feature. The next thing you have here is the Voyager tool. And now what this is basically like guided tours from Google and some other resources as well. So there's all kind of cool things that you can click on here. There's different quizzes, there's different games. I saw this one a few weeks ago and I loved it, Bald Eagles Live. So if we click on this one, it's going to take you to a map of the United States, and it shows you multiple bald eagles nests from around the country. So I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit here. And so you can see it looks like there's 1, 2, and then I think if we zoom in up here, it looks like we have about 4 different points. So if I click on one of these, it's going to actually take me to a link showcasing that bald eagle nest. So I will see a YouTube video right here. It's going to pop up in the screen. And as you can see at the bottom right here, this is a live nest. So I'm really seeing what's going on. Super cool with the chicks. Let's kind of zoom out and go to our second one. Zooming in. All right, so now we can see where it is on the map, and let's go ahead and click play. So this live link looks like, I'm assuming the eagles might be out of the nest, so they're showcasing something that's close by. And let's go ahead and go zoom out one more time and find one of those other locales. Oh, there's actually quite a bit out here. Looks like there's more like 6 or 7 points out here maybe. So we'll zoom in. We'll click play. And again, we have some young chicks here in the nest. So this is a live video. Super cool. Something we could have never done before. We can never see this when I was in elementary, middle, or high school. So I absolutely love this. I think it's really cool. And this is just built in. There's all these cool little tours and things happening that are just built into this program for you. So after the Voyager, you have the I'm Feeling Lucky. So if you've ever used Google before, you know there's always a I'm Feeling Lucky. Take me to a random website, show me a random picture. So this one takes you to a random place. And those places always have a little Wikipedia article about them, and you can learn more about that place, which is cool. All right, here's the meat and potatoes of why I want you to use Google Earth, the projects. So I'm going to click Open. Actually, let me click Create. I'm gonna show you from the ground up. So let's create a project in Google Drive. Let's go ahead and title this our project, or our tour. Basically, what this is going to be Florida Tour, and let's say the tour is going to be exciting places in your neighborhood. Cool. All right, now we need to add some features for this map. So I click on New Feature. I'm going to search for a place, and let's go ahead and do that Magic Kingdom Park, because that's a great place in Florida. So that's going to zoom out because the last place we were was on the other side of the world, basically. Takes us into the Magic Kingdom Park, and I'm going to click Add to Project. Now I'm going to leave the title as Magic Kingdom Park, but I could call this Disney World or something else if I wanted to simplify for my kids. So now you can see I have this Magic Kingdom Park. If I click on the pencil, it allows me to edit. Here's where the teaching comes in. So instead of having this Magic Kingdom, I can replace this and I can call it Disney World. And here's where the writing component comes in. So I could have my students write me a paragraph 2 or 3 about why Disney is part of Florida's ecosystem and why it's important to tourism dollars and things like that. Think about we're reading a novel and it takes place in the United States and it goes up and down the Mississippi River maybe. So your students might have to write about 5 places along the Mississippi River, and they pick 5 points and they wrote a paragraph for each one. We just wrote a 5-paragraph essay inside of this mapping program, which is amazing. So I can go ahead and include an image right here. Let's do a Google image search for Magic Kingdom. Perfect image right here. So now when anybody goes to this point on my tour, they're going to see this image to get them there. Now they also have these place markers on the map. So I can just kind of change the color and make it a blue dot or a purple dot, something like that. I can give it one of these more exciting little pictures here. And you can see all sorts of different icons in the list right here. I think there might be some kind of theme park one. Let's type in park and see what we get. Amusement park. Okay, so now I have this little amusement park icon. I can change the colors again and do whatever I want. But within this box, again, I would have my students write a paragraph 2, 3. They can include in citations in this paragraph. It's really, really cool. I love Disney, and I think it is an important part of our state. Perfect. There's my paragraph that I'm writing. My teacher is pleased. We're finished. We're good. So I can go back now, and I can include a new feature. So let's add one more cool Florida place, and let's do this one, which I love. Burger Inn in Melbourne. If you're in Florida, you got to go to Burger Inn. So it's zooming out. It's taking me there. All right, here's the aerial shot. I'm going to go ahead and add it to project. I'm going to leave it titled Burger Inn. I'll click Save. And let's go ahead and do the same edit features like before. So let's find ourselves an icon. And let's do restaurant. I'm sure there's one. Yeah, you got the little knife and spoon there. Let's go ahead and replace the information. I will leave the title Burger Inn, but let's call it Great Food Fast. That's my paragraph that I'm writing as a student. Let's include an image. How about type in Burger Inn Melbourne. Okay, great little image there. I love it. It looks great. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Preview Presentation to see these two places on my map. All right, so this is what people are going to see when they come to your map, when they come to your tour. So they're going to see this image that you chose, they're going to see the title you chose, and they're going to see your description. Now, I didn't write a paragraph, I didn't write 5 paragraphs, I wrote Great Food Fast. But they'll also see your point right here. Click the back arrow, and it'll take us to our secondary point. So you can see I titled this one Disney World. I have this cool little icon here. And then I have my description of Disney World. I love Disney, and I think it's an important part of our state. So if I were to zoom out, I could see all the points on the map I created. And you can make endless amount of points. You can go on a real road tour that is exciting and fun for your kids. Again, think about having them pick 5 or 6 places and then just writing a paragraph for each one. They're writing serious essays now inside of this cool mapping program. I love Google Earth. I've used it tons with my kids. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and ask. I would love to help you with this. All right, to wrap up our day, thanks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Again, here's all of my information. I have a great little QR code for you if you would want to scan and see something exciting. But again, my Twitter information, my LinkedIn, my email, reach out to me. All these tools I absolutely love. I've promise you I've used them in the past. They work for all grade levels. I've taught from kindergarten and been a literacy coach all the way up to high school. These tools are amazing. They will help you save time. They will help your students find engagement and enjoy learning. And I can't wait for you to try them out. Have any questions, please reach out. Have a great day of learning, everyone.